HBO's The Last of Us star Ellie was told not to touch the game. "I'm so excited for it to come out." HBO's upcoming The Last of Us series aims to adapt Naughty Dog's critically acclaimed video game from 2013, a game that star Bella Ramsey was effectively told not to touch when she got the role of Ellie. When asked if she had played with the video game in an interview with USA Today, Ramsey explained, "I was actually encouraged not to. After my first audition, they asked me, 'Have you played it?' And I said, 'Nope,' and they said, 'Keep it that way.'" She added that she did, however, watch gameplay online to get a feel for what the show was trying to adapt. Ramsey added that the filming experience left its mark on her, simply due to the length of production and the stage of life she's currently in. "I shot for a whole year, which is quite a long time when you've only lived for 19 years. Pedro wrote a little card to me at the end, saying, 'How interesting that something so huge and life-changing should happen so early in your life and so late in mine. I thought it was a really sweet observation and I just had the best time.'" Bella Ramsey, who plays Ellie in HBO's upcoming The Last of Us TV adaptation, was advised not to play the game ahead of joining the show. During her audition for the part, Ramsey was asked if she'd played any of Naughty Dog's critically acclaimed game. When she answered honestly, nope, she was apparently encouraged not to. The Last of Us star Bella Ramsey was told to not play the game after her first audition for the role of Ellie. The Last of Us is a long-awaited screen adaptation of the 2013 action-adventure game. It is set in a post-apocalyptic world and follows characters, Joel and Ellie, in their complex journey of survival as they scour the remains of a ruined country to find a cure for a horrifying plague that exterminated a majority of mankind. A Last of Us trailer was released in late September, giving audiences a taste of what they can expect when the final product arrives on HBO in 2023. Video game adaptations have a mixed track record over the years. Recent successes like the Sonic the Hedgehog movies are few and far between, so many are curious to see how The Last of Us show turns out. The pieces seem to be in place for the show to be a hit, especially considering The Last of Us looks to be a faithful adaptation of its iconic source material. Despite the creative team striving for game accuracy, which could help the series land with viewers, they actually encouraged at least one cast member to not play it. The actor has previously stated she was unfamiliar with the games before taking on the role and said it helped because her character was not intended to be an exact replica of Ellie. Ramsey also explained that, although she was curious about the game and was initially interested in playing it before, her time filming for the HBO series discouraged her from playing them. HBO dropped the first full trailer for The Last of Us recently, offering audiences a first proper look at the dystopian landscape and clickers roaming around it. Thus far the response has been positive, with many praising how faithful the series appears to be to the aesthetic of the video game. The Last of Us success. Written by Neil Druckmann, who directed the hugely successful video game, and Craig Mazin, HBO's The Last of Us stars Ramsey as Ellie and Pedro Pascal as Joel, who, in the game, is tasked with guiding Ellie across Massachusetts, ravaged by a mutated strain of the cordyceps fungus. The reason, as Joel would discover, is that Ellie appears to be the only person immune to infection and is therefore the only hope for a cure. "I was actually encouraged not to," Ramsey told USA Today. "After my first audition, they asked me, 'Have you played it?' And I said, 'Nope,' and they said, 'Keep it that way.' I did watch some of the gameplay on YouTube just to get a sense of it," she added. "But I'm so excited for it to come out, it was such a big part of my life," she said. "I shot for a whole year, which is quite a long time when you've only lived for 19 years. Pedro wrote a little card to me at the end, saying, 'How interesting that something so huge and life-changing should happen so early in your life and so late in mine. I thought it was a really sweet observation and I just had the best time.'" The game was critically acclaimed upon release for the depth and complexities of its characters, visual qualities and more. A remake, titled The Last of Us Part 1, was recently released, offering updated graphics and minor tweaks to the game. The challenge of The Last of Us screen adaptation is translating the love for the original games and all it encompasses into its film rendition. Upon HBO's release of the first full trailer for the TV series, fans were taken aback by the accurate replication of the game's atmosphere, visuals, dialogue, and visuals. Pascal discussed how accurate The Last of Us will be, confirming that the only dissonance from the original source is fewer challenges to focus more on storytelling. This includes extending the background details on side characters who will also be given amplified importance in the story. Considering the show's devotion to being faithful to the games, it is surprising that the creators wouldn't want Ramsey to play them ahead of time to familiarize herself with the character and accurately represent her. It seems that they are aiming for the actors to bring their own approach to their characters, seeing as every other component is to be expected in accordance with the game. This could benefit The Last of Us in the long run, as Ramsey came into the project with fresh eyes to put her own stamp on the material. It would be a shame if her performance played as an imitation of Ashley Johnson's from the games. Hopefully, Ramsey's Ellie is just as memorable when The Last of Us premieres. The Last of Us premieres on HBO in 2023.